Good morning guys and welcome back to my channel from a very bright and sunny Haifa in Israel. Today is going to be embarkation day again, which means that it's also the start of a brand new vlog series on YouTube. So if you are new here, then hello, I'm Fraser and I'm spending the rest of 2023 living on cruise ships as a passenger, and hopefully you'll come along with me. So yeah, if you enjoy this video, just jump down below and click subscribe and give it a thumbs up while you're there. That would be amazing. But look, anyway, back to business, because I cannot wait to get out of this hotel room and get down to the port. Now today is my first ever time cruising on an old Royal Caribbean ship, and actually my only second time actually cruising with Royal. Now a couple of weeks ago, so what, 2 series back, maybe 3, I cruised on Symphony of the Seas, which is a huge Oasis class ship from Royal Caribbean. Now today I'm actually changing that to cruise on a Vision class ship, which is much older. Now the ship that I'm going on is Rhapsody of the Seas, which is home ported out of here in Haifa for the next couple of weeks. And yeah, Rhapsody was launched back in 1997, so actually this cruise ship is almost as old as I am. Which, yeah, I'm very intrigued to see how the old and the new in terms of Rhapsody and Symphony compare and how that translates across the Royal brand. But look, enough from me right now. I'll tell you a little bit more about Rhapsody of the Seas as we head down to the port, and I'll show you a little bit of Haifa. But yeah, for now, let's get this bag, or these bags, out of this hotel and down to the port, and I'll see you guys when we get down there. Welcome to Haifa. This city sits about 90 kilometres or 55 miles north of the much more popular and much better known Tel Aviv. I did want to add to this video that this was recorded back in early June 2023. Since that point, life in this part of the world has changed quite significantly, and actually the cruise season was cancelled very early due to all of the events that are happening at the moment. Now the reason why I still wanted to publish my content from Israel is that it is a beautiful part of the world that I hope that one day we get to cruise to again. And I thought for that reason it was important that I could still try and show you what it looks like to cruise from a pretty unique part of the world. I did also want to say that releasing this video absolutely does not represent any political viewpoint, and I do just want to stress that this was recorded back in early June 2023. Now moving on, while you look at the city, let's talk about Rhapsody of the Seas. Now the ship is actually not too small at all. She's 915 foot long, so she's about the length of 6 Statues of Liberties, all on top of each other. From a capacity point of view, she holds 2,416 guests across 1,020 cabins. So look, let's get to the port. After heaving these bags here all the way down, to be fair, it was all downhill, which was good, but it's so hot. Anyway, I am now at the port, which is excellent news. So the ship is here behind at the moment, and you know what, the thing that has actually taken me quite by surprise is just how small this ship actually is. So far this year, I've been on like MSC World Europa, Symphony of the Seas, Costa Smeralda, Costa Toscana. I think that's all, but they're all big ships. So I'm actually really excited about getting on a ship that seems like a totally manageable size to see everything within 7 nights. It's only actually got, I can see 2 rows of windows, the main promenade deck, and then what looks like 2 rows of balconies before you get to pretty much the top decks. So yeah, the size of this, I'm actually really excited to get on here. Maybe this means I'm not going to have to get up at 5 AM to film a ship tour, because yeah, I might be able to do that. I might be able to do this within an hour. But yeah, the process of getting on here, so it looks as though, if you look over to my side at the moment, there's like a bridge that's walking over. So when I walked past here yesterday, it looked as though there was a bag drop and you then walked up and over the bridge. So I'll take you up there and show you what that's like. And yeah, I'm just so excited. So let's get on to oh my goodness, forgot the name of the ship. Let's get on to Rhapsody of the Seas, and I'll catch up with you probably when we get into the cabin. After arriving at the port, things got a little bit interesting. I've never experienced an embarkation quite like this. First of all, we had to wait in this queue and hand over bags before even entering the port. I've never seen it before, where you get rid of your suitcases before you're even in the cruise port. After getting rid of the bags, you then head over this pedestrian footbridge, which then takes you in to a relatively heavily guarded area, which is the passenger cruise terminal. After you enter the port, you then have a huge amount of walking to do before you even reach a check-in desk. This is what surprised me so much, especially given the climate that you're walking in. You can see as we go through that Royal Caribbean have put water stations and refreshments as you go down here. But look at all these ramps. We're still nowhere near the ship yet. So once you go down here, you then enter the system of marquees and almost like a tunnel network that's set up to guide you all around the port. I'll show you a little bit of inside here. One thing that was great is the queues were basically non-existent. It was great. Now, there's quite a lot of documentation when you cruise out of Israel. You have to show access cards and so on and so forth. And before you even get anywhere near the ship, of course, there's a gift shop. I have never seen a duty-free being so well shopped. I didn't know people did this before they got on a cruise. Let me know in the comments, do you buy duty-free from the cruise terminal before boarding your ship? If you do, I want to also know what you buy. Anyway, let's head back to the ship. So after you leave check-in and you leave the duty-free shop, we're then back in the marquees. Look at how much walking we're doing all inside marquees. It is the strangest thing ever. I thought, okay, well that's fine. This will take me all the way out to the ship. So I thought the gangway would just connect at the end here and it would take me on board. But when we turn this corner, look, we're still nowhere near the ship. So we still need to walk all the way down to there before we even get on board. It was the strangest thing, and by the time I got onto the ship, I was absolutely boiling. Anyway, let me show you what it looked like to jump on board, let me show you the atrium, and I'll speak to you properly when we're en route to the cabin. I am now, take these sunglasses off, I'm now on the ship and heading to find my cabin, which I'll take you guys with me and show you when we get there. So I am all the way at the very, very back of the ship, which you can't actually get any further back without getting wet. So yeah, I am in 17153, which yeah, puts me in the final row of inside cabins that are all the way at the back. So we're nearly there. What's this? 7143. I'm a bit anxious, to be honest, about what these cabins are going to be like, just because the ship's so old. But yeah, let's wait and see. Where are we? We are here. 7153. Now, point that's worth noting is that on Symphony a couple of weeks ago, they gave you your SeaPass card, and it was tucked in here in like a little welcome thing above the door number. But for whatever reason, I already got mine. So I got mine when I was checking in the terminal there, and this should, all going well, we're in. Imagine if after all that, it didn't even open the door. So, but do you know what? So the lights are already on, so it's obviously not, yeah, so it's obviously because it's older, it's not been fitted with that tech that you have to put your card in to get it going. Now, there must be more lighting in here because this is dark. Right, let me see. This, do you know what? This cabin, I think, oh, there's a shower curtain, of course there is. So, look, let me flip the camera and show you what I'm seeing at the moment, because it's a wee bit of an awkward room to kind of walk you around looking at me. So yeah, as you can see, you come in, you've got the sofa on the left-hand side, you've then got the bed directly in front of you. Some very strange placements of mirrors. It feels like there's mirrors everywhere you look, but some of them aren't really doing a great deal. Like the ones on either side of the bed, I don't know what the purpose of them is. Then if we go into the bathroom for a look, you can see you've got the shower curtain. Oh, to be honest, this looks as though it's been refurbished not too long ago. Some of it. Yeah. Do you know what? This actually isn't. Like, I mean, yes, it's old. Yes, it's definitely showing age. But this could be worse. The thing, the thing that I'm very aware of is that the lighting in here isn't that good. So it's quite a dark inside cabin. And all the other ships that I've been on so far this year, when I've been on the inside, because they've been, I think it's just because they're newer ships, you've got much brighter LED lighting, so you don't really, I guess, feel as though you're in the dark as much. Now, what I will do, I am going to pop by guest services and see if there's any options to pay to upgrade the room, just due to the itinerary that we've got this week. But I reckon, to be honest, every single person in an inside cabin is probably trying to do the same thing as this week. So yeah, I'm going to pop by guest services, see if I can upgrade, and then also go and get a coffee before I do anything else. So I'm going to get a coffee and also find out what I can do for eating. In fact, is there a leaflet here? No. So the only paperwork in the cabin, actually, this is weird. This is really weird. Yeah, there's not any correspondence in here at all. So what I've got, actually, okay, the first bit of paper is exactly it. There was me thinking they'd forgotten about me. So this says cruise compass gone green, connect to the ship's Wi-Fi and scan here to access the digital cruise compass, also available on the app. So, yep, okay, it's gone digital. I seem to remember there being more comms on my Symphony cruise though. There was a really impressive leaflet that showed you all the entertainment that was on that night. Maybe because on here, it's a much smaller ship, it's not as difficult to get your head around what's going on. But yeah, the only other things, it's dress to impress, so you can spend $17.49 to get up to 10 things pressed, but not required because I will probably use the magic of the showers, the shower steam. And then this one's just like a medical centre advert, so that's hopefully not one that we're going to have to look at. So anyway, yeah, look, we'll come back and I'll recap on the process of embarking a cruise ship here in Haifa. And yeah, I'll also walk you through like the plan for the rest of the afternoon before we then come back and get ready for the night. So yeah, let's head out the cabin because my head is beginning to hurt. So I definitely need caffeine and I definitely need a bite to eat. So let's go and see what's going on. And I'll catch up with all of you just shortly. Lunch for me today was up to the Windjammer. This is Royal Caribbean's answer to the on-board buffet. You can see here I didn't go for anything too adventurous at all. I just needed something to keep me going before I could get my next caffeine hit. So, on to coffee. I find coffee on Royal Caribbean ships to be pretty good. You can either go down to the cafe and get speciality coffee, or come up here and you've got this Lavazza coffee available 24 hours a day. I then headed down for potentially the most depressing ice cream cone I've ever seen. Not sure what was going on with the machine for that one. Before heading up to check out a view of the city before heading back to the room. So yeah, that's lunch done. I now feel very settled into this ship actually. Sometimes it can take a day or two, but I often find with the ships that are a bit smaller, because you know your way around really, really quickly, it does just help to settle you. Now in terms of where I am on the ship, so this cabin is on deck 7, and I mentioned earlier I think that I'm going to see about upgrading after we leave, but apparently at the moment the ship's full so they're not able to, because if it's a decent price to jump from here into an ocean view, then I definitely would do that because of the itinerary that we're on. I usually love an inside cabin, but this week I think that it should be particularly beautiful going to the Greek islands, but I'll fill you in on the itinerary later on. So yeah, if a view is available at a decent price, then I probably will take the opportunity to literally move across the corridor. That would be great. But yeah, my plan now, I was going to come and sit and sort of catch up with you guys, but time-wise, we are about to sail out of port. In fact, I can feel the engines have literally just started beneath this cabin. That's the other issue with a room right at the back. On an older ship, you can definitely feel things. So yeah, they have powered up down below and we are ready to push off. I'm also going to try and connect on a YouTube live to show some of you guys live what this picture looks like. So I will be able to get a few little bits on here for the video, but if you want to see in more detail, head over to my channel and check out my YouTube live. So yeah, I'm going to head up to the top deck, see some of you there, and failing that, yeah, I'll come back down to the room and catch up with you just shortly. And just like that, we are out. So yeah, leaving Haifa tonight was really nice actually. The weather was great, and I am becoming such an advocate of a hot sail away. I don't know how after this year I am going to go back to standing on the top deck at Southampton with the rain horizontal, trying to cling onto the railing to take a photo, because the sail away up there, it is just, like, the actual sail away itself, it's not an overly beautiful port to sail out of. There's quite a lot going on and it's quite an interesting one to look up at the hills and stuff, but honestly, that weather, like, yeah. So this is actually my final ship of the first chunk of my year, and I can talk about it now because if I had tried to record this a couple of days ago, I would have got really upset, which is so weird, and I know it's nothing to get upset about, but when I took this time out of the corporate world, getting to this point felt as though it felt as though it would take ages to get to now. And I think earlier in the week it kind of spooked me a bit when I realised I was leaving Barcelona and coming over to Israel. And yeah, I just thought, I had the realisation that suddenly this year it's just going at the speed of a freight train, and I really want it to slow down a little bit. But yeah, I know that's probably a very selfish way of looking at it, but that's just what's in my head at the moment. Now, I've come back to the room to, unfortunately, a tailing off from Royal Caribbean because I didn't go to the safety briefing before departure. Now, this letter, which I'm not going to show you because I think it's a little bit angry and a little bit, yeah, I felt bad reading it. Unfortunately, the reality is I did go to the briefing, I did go to the evacuation point, and I did scan my card, and I also did it digitally. So, not too sure what's happened there, but yeah, Royal Caribbean, if there's one thing you should probably make sure is right, it's the safety briefing. The safety briefing, and don't give me into trouble when I went to it, and maybe just double check that everyone else who you've recorded has been. Maybe just make sure they have been. So yeah, I didn't have that problem on Symphony, so I don't know what's gone wrong today, but apparently I'm in the bad books. So I've went down and explained myself, and I think I've got off the hook, so that's fine. Now, anyway, today is Embarkation Day, as you know, and there's a couple of things that I did want to make you aware of. Now, I think there's only 2 points actually. One is on the topic of Wi-Fi. So, on the cruise compass, I said to you earlier about the cruise compass going green, as per this little leaflet in the room. Now, I actually really like getting the paper delivered, and yeah, some people out there will say you shouldn't get the paper if you can do it digitally, but I will embrace I will embrace everything digital in so many aspects of my life. But if it means that when I go on a cruise I get this one bit of paper delivered each night, then at the moment I'm gonna stick to that. But yeah, this is essentially what I will get delivered every night. If you want to get this instead of the digital copy, then you just have to go to guest services and just ask for it. Or what I did was when my cabin steward came to say hello, I just said to him, look, would I be able to get the paper copy? And he said, yeah, sure, no bother, I'll drop it off every night. So that is good. Look, on the front you've got, okay, a little bit about where we are. So this is the one for tomorrow, so it's irrelevant for today and tonight. You've got the weather, which will be perfect for me because, as you know, I'm in my little inside haven, so I'm not going to know what the weather's like until I go outside. So that'll give me a bit of a clue. And then, yeah, just a couple of bits on dress code. And then when you open up, you've got all your restaurants, you've got all your other venues, like your pools and stuff. You've got some deals in the shops. And then on the back, you should have... Yeah. Yeah, you do have, but it was broken down a really, a really funny way. So on the back, you've got your daily planner, which usually, when I see a daily planner, it runs from the morning through to the night. But this one is different, and actually this is, I mean, I say complicated. It's not that complicated, but it's more difficult to read than some other ones I've seen before. The way this works, you've got, now if I maybe come to this side of the camera and walk you through, you've got, I can't see the camera, but you've got things to do, wellness, retail, entertainment down at the bottom, then live music. So across these two columns are all of the events that are taking place tomorrow on the ship. Now, annoyingly, each of those sections runs morning to night, rather than just being here's what you can do in the morning, all the way through to the evening. So, yeah, it's a bit of a funny one, because then if you want to do something with the music section, you've got to look down here, but then check over here for the show, and check over here for the shops, and check over here for... Yeah, maybe I'll get used to it, but hey, that was point one. Point two was just going to be about booking things before you get on the ship. Now, I haven't bought a huge amount of things on this ship, to be honest, just due to the fact that there's not a massive amount of restaurants on here. So, speciality-wise, they've got the sushi restaurant, they've got Chops Grill, I think they've got another one or two, which I need to go and suss it all out, to be honest. But I chose not to buy anything from a speciality restaurant point of view, just due to the fact that, like, I've been in Chops before. It's not my favourite Royal Caribbean restaurant, so I thought, yeah, like, if I eat sushi, it'll be at lunch, and it'll be discounted anyway, so I didn't bother with that. But what I did buy was Wi-Fi before I got on the ship. Now, I paid £90 for the week, which I think would probably translate to about $110 US. Now, what I noticed on the leaflet today was when you look at Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi charges on here are much higher. So I actually can't find it to refer to, but the price was $24.99 a day. Oh, there you go, $24.99 a day. So I've set myself up for a fall here because I'm going to have to add that up. But 25 times 7 is 5,100, 150. I think it was about $175 for 7 days then, which, yeah, it's a lot more than what I paid. So that's just one example of where, if you're coming on a cruise, don't assume that it's only some cruise lines that you can save a bit of cash by booking stuff before. Like previously I thought it was only MSC that charged you more when you get on the ship, but the more I've seen this year, that's the case with, well, every cruise line that I've been on so far. So yeah, always just make sure if you're planning to do something or planning to buy something, so I knew I was going to buy Wi-Fi anyway, just try and do it before you get on the ship and save yourself a few pounds or a few dollars or a few euros. But yeah, look, my plan for tonight, now I can get rid of that before I start referring to it, because it's for tomorrow. My plan for tonight is that I'm going to head down from here, down for dinner. So I've got my time dining, which basically means that you can show up at the restaurant whenever you want to eat. rather than being booked onto first or second dinner sitting. Now, I've never done that before, so I thought I'll try that this time and just see how it works for me. So I guess I'll just fill you guys in as we go on through the cruise. So I've got that tonight, and afterwards I've got the 10 o'clock show. So the show tonight, I think, is Acrobats in the main theatre, which should be good. I'm looking forward to that because on Symphony, the entertainment was fantastic. So I'm hoping that it's up to the same kind of standard on here, just because it's still Royal Caribbean. Granted, it's a smaller, older ship, but I'm hoping it's still going to be as good. Yeah, and that'll bring us to the end of the night. So look, I'm not going to sign off now because I will come back and talk to you guys post-show. So for now, I am going to go get in the shower and freshen up because this is the same outfit that I had on this morning, and I'm nowhere near dinner ready in this. So let me go, get changed, showered, and I'll speak to all of you. Well, I'll speak to you down at dinner. After making it into the dining room, which took quite a while tonight, unfortunately, this was the menu that was presented. I am a big fan of Royal Caribbean dining room menus. I think the variety is really good, and I do think the quality is there. My dinner choice tonight was to begin with the crab cake, followed by, okay, I'll admit it, my second starter of the night, which was a Caesar salad, followed by a curry. I always do think the curry on Royal Caribbean tastes excellent, albeit it's not presented in the best way, so probably could be improved there, and all polished off with cheesecake. After dinner, I headed along to the show, which I will let you have a look at now, and I'll leave you with some clips of the show. But before I do that, can we just pause and appreciate the scale of the theatre that I'm about to show you? I always thought on a cruise ship this small, the theatre would be tiny, but this is so impressive. I didn't expect it to be anything near this size. Anyway, let me show you, first of all, where I managed to find a seat, which was, you guessed it, the front row. Absolutely excellent. I'll leave you with the show, and I'll see you up on the top deck to close off the night. And just like that, it's the end of the night. So I've decided to jump up to the top deck to talk to you guys instead of going straight back to my cabin. And do you know what? I'm glad I did, because it's quiet. As you can see, if I show you this side as well, there is not a soul up here, and it's warm, which honestly, I have really missed. The last couple of weeks on the ships that I've been on, I haven't really been outside because the ships were very much designed for being on the inside. Even like on Toscana and Esmeralda, the pool parties and stuff that they would have at night would be in the indoor pool, so it didn't quite feel the same. But this ship, or this class of ship, feels like a much more traditional design. So if anyone's ever cruised on like the Marella Discovery or the Marella Discovery 2, if you're from the UK and follow this channel, then this ship is actually one of, I guess, the sisters to the Discovery pair. So yeah, this is Vision class, as are the two of them. So yeah, you'll know what I mean by this is a ship that holds people really well in the top deck. That said, no one seems to know that yet, so maybe this is the last night of the cruise where I'll have the top deck to myself. But hey, look, really quick recap on tonight. So first up, dinner. Now, to get into dinner tonight, to be perfectly honest, was a nightmare. So it took me over 40 minutes to get in the queue, to get through the queue, up to the point of getting served to get a table. Now, I had thought, people had previously told me that my time dining is amazing because you can just turn up whenever you want to eat and it's really straightforward. Now, I found tonight that doesn't work, not on this ship anyway, because you have to then join a massive big queue. So what I'm going to do tomorrow is try and book a table and see how that goes. The luxury being with my time that I guess you can book your own time rather than turning up at like an assigned slot. So hopefully that's a little bit more straightforward tomorrow, because if I'm perfectly honest, the experience tonight, by the time I got to my dinner table, like Royal Caribbean for me, I don't really mind paying the full double solo supplement with Royal, because little things like the dinner service is impeccable or the service that you get from the crew is usually impeccable. So I don't mind paying for two people because the experience is so good. And tonight, by the time I got into the dining room, I was in a foul mood. I was really resenting paying the double supplement. My mind was just on overdrive. And thank goodness the waiter tonight completely clawed it back. So my waiter tonight was phenomenal. And I got in there at like 10 to 9. And I said, look, I want to get to the show for 10 o'clock. Is there any way that you can help me do that? And to be fair to him, he got through a 4-course meal in 45 minutes. So yeah, he was brilliant, and because of him he has won back my trust and he's won back my positive mindset for tonight. So yes, waiter in the main dining room, thank you very much, and I will be hunting you down tomorrow to have dinner at your table again. So yeah, that's gone really well. Now after that I went to the show, and the show was good. It started off with like a little sample of here's what's on offer throughout your cruise. And then it finished with like the main show tonight, which was an acrobat duo from Ukraine, who were, yeah, excellent, really, really good. So plan tomorrow, we are docking in Limassol in Cyprus at 7:30 tomorrow morning. So that is why it's 11 p.m. tonight. I haven't had a glass of wine, I haven't had a beer, and I'm actually getting ready to go to bed because I'm planning to get up. I'm not going to say at the crack of dawn to watch Sail In, because then you can hold me to that, but I'm going to get up early tomorrow. That's all the information I'm giving you. I'm going to get up early and get off the ship, so we can be off tomorrow from 7:30, and then all aboard is at 3:30, so quite an early all aboard. So I want to get up and off to maximise time, otherwise I'll sleep in until about midday and then there'll be no point in going anywhere. So yeah, anyway, really looking forward to seeing Limassol, really looking forward to seeing Cyprus because I've never ever been there before. So yeah, hopefully you'll come along with me. If you'd like to do that, then if you want, you can think about jumping down underneath the video, clicking subscribe, and if you give it a wee thumbs up while you're down there, that would be a massive help for me. So yeah, I am gonna head back inside and get to bed. So yeah, thanks so much for following along today. What am I like? I'm actually knackered and I haven't even had a travel day. I've literally walked about 20 minutes with my bags and I'm exhausted. All the Americans on this ship will be thinking, yeah, well, we've flown for 11 hours and how are we fine? But yeah, from me on the top deck of Royal Caribbean's Rhapsody of the Seas, a very good night to all of you, and I will see you bright and early tomorrow morning in Cyprus. Brilliant. Good night, guys. Bye. Hi everyone, thank you first of all for being here. I massively appreciate every single person who has either watched a video, liked a video, commented on a video, or subscribed to the channel. Just before I sign out today on this video, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about my Patreon site. Now, Patreon is a way that you can support creators that you enjoy their content online, and my channel currently comes with 4 different subscription tiers. The lowest tier is hopefully priced to be less than a cup of coffee from your local coffee shop, and then they work their way up from there. All you have to do, if you do enjoy my content and you'd like to explore your options over on Patreon, is head to the address on your screen now, where you can see all the different benefits available at all of the different tiers. But from me right now, wherever you are, thank you so much again for watching, and thank you for being on this adventure with me. Have a brilliant rest of your day, and I'll see you all in my next video. Thank you everyone. Bye.